Well, hello again. Here I am, just outside of Fort Siloso on the island of Sentosa, just off Singapore. It was one of the forts that helped or tried to help when the Japanese attacked Singapore in World War II. Actually, the main Japanese attack came from the north and weren't seaborne. So the fort did see a lot of action. But we're going to have a look at the guns. It's very wet, and I'm not sure how this will turn out. But you can see the 25 pounder behind me. And if we come round, you can see the older weapons that we had or we saw on North Head in Auckland. For those that saw my previous filming on North Head. Well, welcome to Singapore weather. Here is the same type of barrel that we saw at North Head in my video on North Head defences, except these guns do not retract, but they do have a 360-degree field of fire. Obviously the trees never used to be here when these, back in the late 1800s, were built and installed. We will be seeing other Second World War guns as 25 pounder we saw just now. Due to the heavy rain, I've decided not to record as I film, so I'm adding this later. We're now looking at the 6-inch battery. We saw a barrel on the hoist. We're now coming up to the battery itself. I can't film and go down steps together. There. In the distance you can see Singapore itself across the water. These barrels are back from the 19th century, and the casements on the left there, they are from the 1860s. Again, looking back at the casements and looking down towards a gun position. The rain really is torrential. I'm finding it difficult to hold an umbrella and film at the same time. We're now going up to the command post. Now this is aimed towards the sea, not towards Singapore Island itself. You will see it has 2 levels. If you look down as you go in, you can see a lower level. See the recognition silhouettes on the wall so they can identify, hopefully, friend or foe. There's the hoist from down in the ammo store to send the shells up to the gun position.
And there we have the gun position. Now we come through some of the casements, which are full of graphics and information with regard not only the fall of Singapore, but what life was like there and even the rebuilding. A recreation of the surrender of the British forces, well, British and Commonwealth. The surrender was actually done at the Ford factory, which I'll show you some photos of later. Lots of tunnels all through the hill from each gun position. And of course, what happened to the guys that surrendered? The terrible conditions they were held in. Many not surviving. Again, lots more information as you go through. Here's a chap passing the charges for the guns out. The Japanese heavily bombed Singapore, which you don't always hear about. The conditions were dreadful. A lot of the people were starving. And this is a reenactment of the Japanese surrender. And not as good as Madame Tussauds, but it's not a bad display. I believe the commanding officer of the Japanese after the war was executed for the cruelty and suffering his men caused, but a lot got away without any punishment. The heritage trail is looking back of when the fort was first built, so back in the 1880s. The different areas are quite well done. Notice the dog trying to eat the sausages. Dobie Waller.
This is our laundry and our laundryman, or Dobie Waller, as you will call him. He cares for the cleanliness of our uniforms. And sometimes, as you see, mistakes will happen. You will make no mistakes. But try smartly. Do your duty as British soldiers should. I believe you will do well enough. But if not, come under my eye.
Last time I visited the fort, several years ago now, this was where you came in. It was the first thing you saw was the garden. And this was the main entrance. Now you enter through this sky walk, which is all free. And here we have where the British surrender was. The actual room. I noticed the chairs are the same as the photographs. Now it's the National Archives. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. There was quite a lot more to see, but the weather was just so bad. I was quite wet by then. But I hope you enjoyed it, and see you again soon.